In today's pop beat breakdown, we are going to be breaking down a chill guitar pop R&B type beat that I recently made for my beat store. This is influenced more so by Slow Grenade by Lauv and Ellie Goulding. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button right now as it is the best way to support the channel. My name is Joe Gorchi and I'm the music producer behind Pop Beat Breakdowns. All the beats that you hear in these videos are available to download the license for free on my beat store, which I will leave a link in the description if you want to check that out after the video. With them mandatories out the way, let's jump straight into Logic and let's break down this beat. Okay, so we are now in Logic and what you're looking at right now is the project. The project is in 150 for this song today, and if you listen to Slow Grenade by Ellie Goulding and Lauv, you kind of know the vibe that we're going to be getting from the get-go. But how this works is I always leave everything in the track listing in the order that I put it in so you can get the best understanding of how I built the track. And again, I love doing these sorts of videos because this is how I learned music production, really. I did the academic route of learning how to produce music, but I always found that watching producers break down their own productions was a really cool way to learn sort of new techniques or new ideas and incorporate them as my own. So hopefully you learned something from this video today. So this is a pop R&B Lauv type beat, and I started with this very cool harpsichord guitar / piano sounding instrument. I bounced it out because it gave me a lot more control over the quantizing because there was a slight delay that I couldn't just fix in the settings, so I bounced this out and I quantized it to more in time. So this is the idea that I started it with. Love this sound. I use it in a lot of my beats actually. This is, for anyone who's wondering, this is Contact. This is the hybrid piano, I believe. If I go into Contact, I'll show you exactly what it looks like. This one here, Hybrid Keys. This is a very good plugin that you can actually download for free, by the way. There's a free download version available of this if you want to check that out on Native Instruments website. So again, that was just basically the instrument that I built this all around. Next, I added in some piano because I had an idea in my head because we'd listened to a reference track. By the way, reference tracks are always so important to have when building a song. And it made me think that I'm going to add some piano in, some more octave stamps on the root notes. This is the Native Instrument Grandeur piano. Sounds beautiful. I was actually quite happy with how the piano turned out this time. And in the pre-chorus we have slightly different chords, but it's very simple piano playing, so you don't have to be advanced at piano. I just wanted to change the chords in the pre-chorus because I've got a bit lazy recently, if I'm being honest, with chord changes, doing a lot of 4-chord song beats, so I wanted to have a little bit of variety. That's my honest opinion. Next we've got the Mellow Organ Rhodes. I was a big fan of this. I just happened to come across this, by the way. This was a Omnisphere preset, the Mellow Organ Rhodes. I love Omnisphere for just finding random sounds. I never really quite know what I'm going to get when I open Omnisphere, and today we got this. I just thought it was really nice. When you listen to that with the pianos, just subtle counter melody going on in there, some little hammer-ons just to give it a bit of movement, and it came out really well. So when you listen to it with the guitar, you've got sort of the mood of the song already. It's really warm. I was just thinking already, I would happily write a song around that piano. I was so happy with how that turned out. So next then was the drums, and we have used Logic entirely to build the drums today. So this is all like, we've got the Future Kick 1, got the Atlanta snare, got the Beat Machine rim, we've got Jagged Edges hi-hat and the Analog Circuit shaker. This is a very amazing software instrument, by the way, in Logic for you Logic users who use stock only. It's the DMD, so if I was to say open here, you could actually open the Drum Machine Designer as, again, it's all Logic. And it's just a great way, because I like to use the pads to build everything. So it's amazing how you can just program your own drum machine. So I came up with this beat if we're just listening to the empty kit. Very bouncy. No mixing at all to the drums, by the way. Straight out the tin. And then I added in the rim machines doing this nice little pre-chorus snare roll. With a little bit of reverb. Again, just keeping it very simple. And when you just put this together, we haven't got any like bass in yet, but it already sounds like a beat. So obviously the next thing naturally to add was the bass, and I've blended two of my favourite Logic basses. Yes, again, for you Logic users, just stock Logic, and you could be found in just the synth bass, and then these two here, the 90s solid synth bass and the 90s stereo synth bass. These two together create this really nice blend. Have a listen to this. So you got the sub coming from one. So the sub, I believe, was from the 90s solid bass. No, the other way around. Okay, so this sounds a bit strange by itself, but this is adding sort of like the higher texture to it. So the bass can stick out a little bit more in the mix so you can hear it. But I wanted all the feels to come from the 90s stereo synth bass, and I love layering this bass just to thicken up the low end of the track. So this by itself, you might have to have headphones on to properly hear this, but it's got a really nice low rumble to it. And just by layering these two basses together creates a unique sound, and I just thought it was really nice. Add a little bit of movement in the bass, have its own sort of melodic factor to it to make it sound more interesting. So when you incorporate it with the drums, they work really well as a rhythm section. Just again, just a bit of movement, keeping it a bit more interesting, because that's what it's all about. And there's only really two more things that I've added to make this beat what it is. The first one is one of my newer purchases and additions to my collection. I'm a big endorser of Native Instruments, not paid to endorse them, but I just love Native Instruments. So instead of buying loads of different ones, I've decided to just continue building my collection of Native Instruments, and Glaze is one which I recently bought, which I've been wanting to buy for a while. This is all around vocals and vocal sampling and recreating sounds, as you can hear. Very cool. And this is a pad called Cloudy Judgment. I just wanted to add this into starting through halfway through the second chorus and the third chorus, added just a little bit of development. And it sounds like this. Just playing two root notes. And it just plays, but again, it just adds a little bit of that atmosphere, which I think helped glues the track together. The last thing that only added was some rises. So this was from, I believe, Splice, one of my saved crashes that I use a lot. It's very nice. Don't have to do anything to it because it already sounds great. And I've incorporated a little bit of reversing in here. For those of you, by the way, watching this channel and don't know how to reverse and create them rises, a very easy way. So if I just drag this hi-hat to the side here, so you can do one of two things. You can either hit Control-Shift-R, so that is Control-Shift-R, and it will reverse the audio so it goes the other way. Very easy way to create rises. The other way you can do it is click on the track, go to File, Function, and then you can hit reverse there, and it will reverse the audio the same way. Very easy to do. Once you learn it, you end up experimenting with it, and it's just great fun. You can reverse all sorts of things. You can create reverse pianos, you can reverse guitars, add reverb on, then re-reverse it the other way around and create some really cool guitar effects. It's just endless. So it's a really fun thing to experiment around with if you want to try out some new things. And that is basically the track altogether. So I'm going to talk a bit about the mastering actually, and what I use to master the tracks, because when I create beats at such a high volume, I don't normally have time to spend a whole day mixing a track. So I have this little sort of chain that I always do, which always gives me great results. And it's starting with two Waves plugins, 3 Waves plugins, and Ozone. So one thing I like to do is add to like the Vitamin, because this is kind of like a multipressor, and it gives you a nice creative control. And I always aim just to have the line, like the dB line, flat as possible, because it creates a nice balanced track. And it's just adjusting 5 different frequency parameters. Very easy to use. So if you're looking for a plugin to try and help you mastering, I highly recommend the Vitamin. It's also good on vocals as well, mixing other things. And then I was feeling lazy with this track today, if I'm being honest, so I slapped in the Mix Centric, which is a magic little one knob feature, where if you turn it up, the best way I can describe it is it adds a bit of brightness and colour to a track. I just like doing it. It's because it's a bit of glue. And again, I'm being a bit honest with you guys, I was feeling lazy with mixing this track today. And then to show even more how lazy it's being, I slapped it into Ozone, which is a really great plugin to buy if you're someone who knows nothing about mixing and mastering, how to do it, but you want to try and get better results. Ozone is an automated mastering. You can use it automated. I didn't automate it this time. I just used the dynamic EQ and just a little bit of like carving out. This is a great mastering plugin. It's an all-in-one basically. So if I was to scrap what I said about the Vitamin, you have money spent on mastering software, get Ozone. I've got Ozone standard and I don't see any need to upgrade. It's got everything I need. It's got equalizers, it's got compressors, vintage type, so you can get that sort of saturated sound, dynamic EQs, which I do have plugins for, but again, that's because I had to buy them separately, so everything comes in one, as well as your maximizer even has a tape emulator in here as well. So this is very cool. I believe at the moment it's about £275, but if you catch it in a sale, I got this, I think I paid £50 for this on an exclusive sale. I think it was Black Friday though. But you put it all together, guys, then you get this indie guitar pop influenced by Lauv, Ellie Goulding, slow grenade type beat. I'm going to play it from the pre-chorus. Enjoy. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button right now, as it is the best way to support the channel. Comment below any other beats that you might want me to recreate, and then do a pop beat breakdown of in future videos. But yeah guys, leave it there for today. Thank you for watching this video, keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.